I think it would be fair to say that Kent Hovind didn't take my last video too well. He's advised me to move on to softer targets like flat earthers and to not make my second video about him. Am I going to listen to his advice though? Nah. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Tinfoil Tuesday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Now, I won't show you the full 70-minute response from Kent. That's too much butt hurt for anyone to handle, but here are a few highlights.
I'm challenging you. You don't have a bit of evidence for evolution. None. Zero. Give me the best 3 lines of evidence that you think prove that we all came from a rock. We all came from a common ancestor, an amoeba, which came from a rock, which came from a one-dimensional dot of nothing exploding. Give me the best evidence for your theory that you want all of us to pay for. Freddie, you told me about this guy. I'd never heard of him 2 days ago. Never heard of him. You got me fired up, brother.
You don't say.
Oh, thank God. Give it in, God.
Everybody in England isn't this stupid, are they?
There are many people more intelligent than me in this country, and that kind of makes it worse for you, Kent, because you were debunked by an average Joe.
Yes.
I've been over there. I've had a great time, and I didn't get to. I didn't get to Scotland yet, but I've been to all the rest of them over there: Wales, North Ireland, Ireland, England. Beautiful countryside. They drive on the wrong side of the road, but other than that.
That's right.
Anyway.
The teachers teach this because it is the truth. It really is as simple as that. And for you to sit there and question the morals of these people that have spent their entire lives studying this sort of thing.
Hold it. You're questioning my morals. I've spent my entire life studying this too.
I don't remember questioning your morals, just your doubt of evolution.
You're questioning me, Dan. I'm honest. I'm telling the truth. Nobody's ever seen a partial 85% wing. Amen. What good would a 95% wing do on a butterfly?
And he says he understands evolution. In his second video, Kent spoke a lot about his science centre, and he also asked me for a debate.
We need to spend one more night on Whack an Atheist. Simon Dan, the new comedy show. Dan decided to pick on me. Dan, I'd never heard of you. I didn't start this fight. You started picking on me. My prediction was you will not have a face-to-face debate with me or a Skype debate or any other kind of debate. You will be a chicken and you will run. Okay, that's the prediction. There we go, right there. Okay.
It is true that I don't debate flat earthers, but I didn't say anything about debating people on evolution. Now, when watching your response, I noticed that you were sarcastically mentioning that you had a science centre. Quite a lot.
Science center, in a science center, in the science center of our science center.
So before we have a look at the second part of your original video today, I've got a proposal. I have seen many debates that you have participated in, and I can say with great confidence that you've been beaten many times. The problem is you don't seem to accept that, and in a debate you can quite easily say that any proofs I give you for evolution are also proofs of a creator. However, you seem to be quite proud of the fact that you have a science centre.
Science center.
And that you are a man of science. So you should have no problem with a GCSE science exam designed for 15-year-olds as they're about to leave school. If you can achieve a college passing grade on that science test, then I will come over to America, come to your science centre, debunk half of it, and then debate you on stage. That is the deal. Email me. Right, I said we'd take on the second half of his original video from last week. I'm a man of my word, so here we go.
Analogy of eye structure. Eyes in cephalopods, such as octopus and mammals, have the same function and are structurally similar, but have evolved from different origins.
Something tells me he's not going to be happy with that sentence.
Now, maybe it doesn't bother anybody else in the world that they're doing this kind of stuff to all the kids, but it bothers Kent Hovind, and I'm going to stop it or die trying. Now, Jesus did not attempt to change the Roman Empire. He went after individuals. They couldn't stop that, could they? Make disciples. Have them go out and make disciples. We're probably not going to change the public school system. I'm going to try, but most of my efforts going into educating the students.
Change the public school system. The one that taught you to read, write, understand the world around you, use numbers and study multiple subjects at once. Talk about biting the hand that feeds you.
Hell, I'm being taught evolution in my biology class. What should I do about it? Get this book and give it to every kid you know in biology at any level. Get our video series, Creation Seminar Series, $50 for 18 hours plus the debate I did against 3 guys at once. And I'll take you on again, guys, anytime. You're lying to the kids. That's not evidence of evolution. Evidence for evolution, 8th grade quiz. Homology and analogy. So both are evidence for evolution. If they look the same and have the similar structure, that's homologous and that proves evolution. If they look the same but are very different, that also proves evolution. You understand how this is working for the poor kids?
Kent, you yourself showed the examples of mammals' forelimbs. Take a look at this picture. The forelimbs of all mammals have the same basic bone structure because they were inherited from a common ancestor. This is an example of homologous structures. Now look at this picture. Wings evolved independently in bats and birds. They are similar as they evolved to do the same job and not because they are linked by a common ancestor. This is an example of an analogous structure. I genuinely think that the issue is your understanding, Kent.
During convergent evolution, analogous structures are seen. Analogous structures are structures that have very different genetic origin, but they have very similar function. Example, wings are great adaptation. Guys, listen, look at me. Wings are not an adaptation. Wings are a design feature.
The meaning of adaptation in this sense is as follows. The process of change by which an organism or species becomes better suited to its environment. And if I was a designer and I'd found a way for a wing to work, for example the peregrine falcon, why would I then change that design and use it on something else? If it works so well, no need to change it.
How many things would have to be right for the wing to work? Nick, you're a pilot. How many things have to be right on an airplane to make it fly? A lot. Hundreds and hundreds of things. How many things would have to go wrong to make it stop flying? Any one, like a loose nut behind the wheel or something like that. Okay. Regardless of whether you are a bird, mammal, insect, or dinosaur, these are not great adaptations, folks. These are design features, but they want so badly to not give God the glory, they're going to give their own stupid religion of evolution the glory instead.
It's got nothing to do with taking it away from anyone or anything.
Nothing in biology makes sense except in light of evolution. That's simply not true. I think nothing in the world makes sense except in the light of a creator. Nothing makes sense. I got a piece of paper here. Is there any chance this could evolve? Made out of all natural fibers from wood.
Oh dear.
This is another whatever it is, Kahana Academy evidence for evolution. The horse evolution, we talked about that. And I can't believe you guys are still using this one, proven wrong in 1874. You're a bunch of liars at this Kahana Academy. I'll debate, I don't even know who you are or where you are. I'll debate all of you same time. Stop using this as evidence for evolution. Proven wrong in 1874. You are lying to your people. Stop.
So you're saying it's proven wrong, but not how? Okay, a bit hypocritical.
This question, why does the Arctic have polar bears and Antarctica penguins? Well, like, duh. Maybe there were penguins and the polar bears ate them. Hello? Okay.
More tragic ignorance regarding the natural world.
Polar bears live in the Arctic, but not the Antarctic. For penguins, the picture is reversed. The pattern of organisms around the globe, the absence of some species from environments that would suit them, and closer relationships between species that are geographically near each other than between species that inhabit similar environments is persuasive evidence of the evolutionary origin of biodiversity. Let me read it without the big long clause in the middle. The pattern of organisms around the globe is persuasive evidence of the evolutionary origin of biodiversity. Because animals live in certain parts of the world, that proves evolution.
The undercurrent of incredulity here is once again showing how little he knows about the subject.
In their brain, everything proves evolution. They're not capable of seeing it outside of that dumb religion. Okay, guys, let me help you out. Penguins live around the southern hemisphere, up as far as Galapagos Islands, okay? They got penguins up there on the Galapagos. But you are right, other than zoos up north, penguins are in the southern hemisphere, and the polar bears are in the northern part, where the brown areas where the polar bears live. Okay, I agree. So they make a big deal out of this on the internet. This is proof for evolution in their mind. Polar bears, the green, live up here. Penguins live down here. That proves we all came from a rock.
I'm pretty sure no one has ever said that we've come from a rock. Let me use a different example to drive this point home, one that is a little bit more local. There are several species of tortoises on the Galapagos Islands, and a trait regarding their shells is a wonderful example as evidence for evolution. Look at these three particular examples. You will notice that different tortoises from different islands have different shell shapes. Now, if you remember of the species that had the dome-shaped shell, then you would be happily living your days eating off the ground with no problems at all, right? Now, what if you were part of a group that were, for whatever reason, separated from the rest of your species, and you ended up on a different island? At first, everything would seem fine, but you quickly realise that all of your food is now in a bush rather than lying on the ground. Your mates are all dying around you because they can't lift their heads high enough to reach the food. But you've got this little mutation that allows a small gap just above your head in the shell so you can reach that little bit higher to get to the food. Now you notice that a few others have this advantage too, and you mate with a female that survived. Your species then continues to grow, with offspring that have slightly more of a gap being more successful when obtaining food. And this continues, generation after generation for millions of years. The individuals with the larger gap above their head being more successful. Then you find out that you're now an entirely new species. There are individuals on the old island you're at that still look like this, and you find out that your species now looks like this. Now this is one example, easily explained. Now Kent has got an explanation for the polar bear penguin thing, explaining at length how the sea levels used to be different in the past.
Lower oceans means larger continental shelves connecting all the continents. You could walk any place. So right after Noah's flood, the critters got off the ark and they spread out. The Hamites, the descendants of Ham, went down to Africa. 3 or 4 times in the Bible it says Egypt is the land of Ham. Japheth and his descendants, Noah's son Japheth, apparently moved this way from Noah's Ark, and the Europeans are descendants of Japheth, and the Asians and Indians and Chinese, etc., are from Shem.
Now, I don't want to throw a spanner in the works here, but I'm just asking a question. So basically you're saying that everyone on Earth descended from Noah's family. Do you not see an issue with that?
There are 3 basic ethnic groups in the world: the Orientals, the Africans, and the Europeans. And they have a lot of mixing since then, but that's the general concept. So after the flood, polar bears migrated north and penguins went south. It's not complicated, guys.
So after asking me continuously for evidence for evolution, Kent has decided that polar bears just decided to go north and penguins decided to go south without a single shred of evidence. Right. Let's leave Kent here, as I think we have covered him enough now, don't you? Kent, what do you think of me now?
You're awesome.
Brilliant. Kent, if you're watching, my offer still stands. Take the exam, pass it, and we'll talk. Right, that brings this episode to a lovely close. Really enjoyed doing the evolution ones. No doubt we'll see another 90-minute response of butt hurt from Kent. Thank you very, very much for joining me. If you liked it, then please do like and subscribe. I have been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a great week, and I'll see you all on Friday, where the Patreon voted video winner is announced. See you then.